G'day, Lewis.
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
Good. I've got a little bit of news for the listeners, particularly Melbourne listeners. I have just inked a fresh deal, Lewis, on our Melbourne International Comedy Festival show, of which you will be a resident of Melbourne at the time. So there's more profit in the show this year because I don't have to fly you down and put you up. It's so exciting.
That's actually why I'm moving to Melbourne, to help Irrational Fear make money at its one comedy festival show.
Actually, do you know what? This is our guests can attest to this. Melbourne Comedy Festival is an extremely expensive festival to do, and the way we actually do make money is by only putting on one festival show on one night. We do one show, 400 people, make money, leave. It is the best way to do Melbourne International Comedy. None of this month-long show. Why would you do a month-long tenure at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival? Do you want to lose $8,000 every year?
Yeah, I did it. Well, I did that once and managed to just scrape even. And after that, I'm just like, no, I fly in, I do a series of individual shows with everything I've ever done, and then I leave. Before I have to have too many conversations about people's depression. Including my own.
Even big comedians in big rooms don't make a lot of money unless they're selling out every night. It is a hard financially, financially. But I'm sure
not for us, Dan. Not for the kings of
we've cracked the
festival.
code.
The princes return. Not the bad princes like Andrew. The good princes like Ali Ababwa.
I'm recording my end of Irrational Fear on Darawal Land. Let's start the show.
The following program contains rude words like Mark Latham, blockchain, and Twitter. Irrational Fear recommends listening by immature audiences. Comedians, experts, laughing at the world as it burns down around us. This is a Irrational Fear.
Hello, Irrational Fear listeners. We've got something a little bit different for you this week. Normally, we talk about the news and climate change and make fun of the things in the zeitgeist, but something that is in the zeitgeist is something our guest has made. Well, I've had a bit of a hand in it too. I'm very excited to have Millie Holton on the show. She is not only an illustrator, a comedian, a performer, an improviser, a director, a writer. She's also a prolific taco eater, as I discoveed in Austin at the Austin Film Festival. Please welcome Millie Holton to the podcast.
That's not a euphemism. Can I be so clear? That is not a euphemism. We were in Austin for the Austin Film Festival, and I ate a lot of tacos, quite literally, and it was delicious. And I'm sorry to the listeners that you're not getting any educational or satire content from this. I'm so sorry.
No, they've earned a break.
Yeah.
They've been through 10 years of hell. And so have we. So it's nice to have a little rest.
Oh, good.
Plus, I think climate change is all fixed. So
yeah, we fixed climate change. Yeah. So
amazing.
We don't have to worry about it anymore. It's all done.
Good. Well, I hope this is the vibe of when you have a substitute teacher and you just watch a movie in class and it's actually a pleasant break from the hell that is this life.
Yes.
So very happy to be here.
That is
it's
exactly right. I used to have a teacher in high school. His name was Saxon Bowles, would you believe? And
oh, that's great.
Yeah, great name, perfect name for a high school religion teacher or substitute teacher. And Saxon Bowles would come in, and because he didn't give a fuck about religion, he would just put on The Power of One or A Few Good Men or any film and would say, look, this is a film about values. We're just going to watch it and then discuss the values. And I'm like, fantastic. This is great.
That's great. What values did you learn from A Few Good Men? Always protect the wall.
Oh, that you shouldn't order the code red. Probably, very bad color. Red.
Yeah, it's one of the worst codes.
Better code to call. Yeah.
But no, we're here to talk about the project that you two have worked on. I had nothing to do with it. So I'm coming in, to be frank with you, I'm here to ask the hard questions. So you guys don't end up just, fubbing your way through this whole thing, getting through with a bunch of lies. I'm here to keep you honest.
Oh, good, because no one has had any hard questions for us yet, have they, Dan?
People have been really nice and have refused to ask hard
that
questions.
Ends today. That's over.
Actually, that is a
Say
lie.
Goodbye.
That is an absolute lie. I encourage the listener to go to TOEFOP and listen to Will Anderson's conversation with Millie Holton.
Gosh.
He really grilled you for he really put you under the pressure. Like he was really putting you in a weird spot with a bunch of weird questions that didn't quite make sense.
Hey. It was my introduction to Australian Hollywood, and I quickly learned that I wasn't cut out for it.
Is Will Anderson, is he Australia's Hollywood? Is he
To me.
Okay.
Excuse you.
That's good to know. No,
well, who else is?
That wasn't an
Asher Ketty?
insult. Yeah, that was a genuine question. Yeah, I guess because Asher Ketty. I mean, she's a golden girl. Well,
Absolutely.
I guess what's Will and actually, we don't need to really. I don't want this
let's
to feel
investigate.
offensive or complimentary. I love Will Anderson. He's the best.
Yeah.
He is very generous.
He didn't feel generous when I was there. He felt like an old friend ribbing me, and we just the first meeting, and I can't keep up with a man like Will. he's
like,
much too.
So you draw cartoons, do you? Like Dilbert?
Yes, Will, like Dilbert.
Is that what you are, a little Dilbert?
Yes, Will, I'm Dilbert.
Great. I haven't heard the interview, but that's how I imagined it went.
That's exactly how it went.
Right. Yeah. It's not like Dilbert at all, though. It's Longhead.
It is.
A man with a very long head, performed by the wonderful, the one and only Sam Campbell. Yeah, Sam Cam, who is obviously the best, one of the greatest to ever do it. How did this weird little long-headed character come about, Millie?
I was doing a lot of comics after a particularly strenuous Melbourne Comedy Festival like you guys were talking about right before the title sequence. And because I was sick of putting my heart and soul into something for 20 people to see it, but maybe a little bit more than 20. But
hey,
still,
20's not bad.
Hey, 20 is good for the Common Fest, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. But in a room that is supposed to fit 100, it doesn't feel too good, does it, Hobbo?
I've been there.
You can
Believe me,
imagine.
I would have killed for 20.
And they're not even sitting together. They're spaced out and they're
they
near the
won't
back.
do it. Yeah.
Well, no, I think I love live performance, but you all know that Comfest log. And I kind of had a thought of like, oh, if I do this, 15 times was how long the run was. So however many people see it, maybe a few hundred, and then it's gone forever. And I don't have anything to show for it. And if I want to get Hollywood jobs, they need to know what I can do beyond this. And so then I started going full tilt on comics on my Instagram because it was like a very quick way to get very quick jokes out without having to see a live show or do a script. And my muse was very quickly Longhead. He was the star of all the comics. And then Dan got in touch, like a cold email, like a scammer might. And he said, do you have screen plans for Longhead? And it came to be.
It's
That's
so funny.
amazing.
It's so funny that you wanted to get to Hollywood and you thought the way to do that was by drawing doodles on Instagram.
Yeah, webcomics, famously. I think. Well, like to be sincere, I wanted to get more any writing work, and I was like, well, how are people going to even know I can tell a joke? So a very quick visual way could be helpful was my thought, and it was Dan.
It's so good. I don't know how much time Dan spends doing that, just emailing people he doesn't know, but it must happen a lot because all these people pop up in our podcast, and I'm like, how did you guys know each other? And they're like, Dan just emailed me. And I'm like, does Dan just spend all day just stalking the internet looking for funny people to like get into his little lasso?
That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do
I
is,
should say in a good way.
collect
I don't
funny
want you to
people
sound like
in
a
a lasso.
predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan emails women out of the blue asking to work together, and I want that on the record.
And what's the age gap between you and Dan, Millie?
2 years, because Dan is 31. I got you, buddy. I got you.
Thank you. My mother, Rebel Wilson, will approve of that joke. So.
It's so good. And the first one went up, and immediately Dan and I were chatting just after the first one went up, and he was like, "Oh, it's going up to 100,000. It's up to 500,000." He's like, "Oh, I think it just clocked over 1 million," and that was in like 2 days. It's amazing.
Crazy.
They've all been like that. How did that feel, Millie?
Oh, such a relief. It's like the last one dropped last Friday, so like 4 days ago. And the thing I've been saying to everyone who's been asking is like, I don't even feel happy yet. I just feel relieved. Like I'm sure the happiness will come in next week or after I've decompressed a little bit. But yeah, just relieved that I didn't let anyone down because it's just me clicking upload on TikTok. So I can't point the finger if it doesn't get any views. I can't blame anyone. I can only blame myself.
And there's
So
you can't actually hear the audience, can you? You can't actually, hear them or see them or feel them. So the warmth of those likes going up, the warmth of those reshares and reposts is something quite intangible. But there is a real warmth, Lewis, when you make something that is funded by the government of Australia. It's when they send you an email to say you've done a good job.
I've never had that before.
Did you get the email from what? From the PM?
Well, no,
saying
from
good
Screen
comedy?
Australia. This is Screen Australia. They were just like, hey, we're everyone in the office is talking about this. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, to be belle of the ball in that office. That's all I could ask for, honestly.
It's a really special feeling. It's a really special feeling.
Your water cooler chat at Screen Australia.
Yeah, with the 4 people there, we are quite famous, Dan.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so
Yeah.
great. And good on him. Like, honestly, it's because it is like, I love it. And obviously heaps of people love it. But it's the sort of thing that historically people in funding positions don't fund because it's weird.
Absolutely.
It's very weird. It doesn't have a clear narrative. It doesn't have like the stories don't necessarily connect. It's just a wacky character going on. Not even, I guess, wacky adventures that you might describe them as.
It's kind of
so
a strange
I'm
world
really
we
glad
live in now.
They gave you money for it.
It's such a strange world we live in now. Where do you even start to pitch a show like this on TV in Australia? Like, who in Australia would want to spend $100 and something thousand making this, or making 10 minutes of this to put on television? Like, there's literally zero market for this.
Well,
like
I'm
on Australian
so
TV.
grateful for Screen Oz for like seeing the vision and understanding that it could go well online. But yeah, someone was asking me literally today of like, oh, where would you pitch this in Australia? And I was like, I don't know. Like, it's I think it'd only work overseas, right? Because no one's taken a risk on something like this, even though it's probably proven already. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think for this, it's like, you know, we can have a conversation with Channel 7.
Yeah. And it's not even like
maybe they've got some room on 7 Mate at 10 o'clock at night for something like this, or Channel 9 shopping show or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird thing where you've got something really good, really creative, and made by a team of amazing people, but there's no immediate home for it. Whereas thankfully, you know, TikTok is a thing and the audience is there. And it's so amazing to be able to go and make something that costs a lot of money and then put it all together and then have, you know, close to now 4 million people view it just in the course of a month. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really exciting. Obviously, you know, if you can't keep getting money from the government's teat, a skill that I used to be very good at. So I respect the hustle. Get on that teat. Stay on it as long as you can.
Suckle.
Indeed. But have you thought about if there's some branding opportunities for a character with a very long head?
This is up your alley, Dan. What do you reckon?
Are we thinking beanies? Are we thinking headbands? Are we thinking road game? Like
10
sort of like
10-gallon cowboy hats, is that a thing?
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of money in 10-gallon cowboy hats? Is there any? I get in a Cobra. There's a bit of money in a Cobra.
Yeah, Cooper will be bang up for it. Maybe condoms. That could be something. Oversized condoms.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Dan? Let's get in touch with Lifestyle.
I don't mind that.
But
I
would hasten to kind of suggest something, you know, away from Millie's creative genius. So, you know, I don't know, Millie, if you think a condom is a good idea for our little boy Longhead.
I'll do anything for a check, Dan. Let's do it. But look, whatever happens. I mean, even as a folio piece, I think for Not a Real Media Co., which is Dan's production company, and for myself, I think it'll hopefully lead to more opportunities in the future.
Yeah, it's really great, and it's like if it's already got that many views, it's going to have it's going to keep getting discovered for at least the next few weeks and months. So it's really exciting.
Oh, thank you.
It was really great to kind of hear that, you know, Lewis, I got to like flex my producer chops in front of Millie, and I thought it was really cool. Like when
God.
she laid down a list of people she wanted it. Can you get these people? These are the people I want on my list.
My dream list.
Can you please get these people? And I'm like, yeah, I can get these people. These are easy people to get.
But also, that being said, like you could have said like a Hemsworth, and Dan still would have found a way to get them. That is that is one of Dan's great skills. It is.
Yeah.
He does know absolutely everyone, and if he doesn't know them, he can find a way to bump into them and become best friends.
My only Hemsworth story is that Cale Bain, Susie Youssef, Amanda Buckley, and Toby Trustlove and I made a short film for an improv show we're doing at the Roxbury, and Brie Bain, which is Cale Bain, who is Cale Bain's wife, was on Home and Away with Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Hemsworth came and played a cameo as a waiter in this short film. So technically, this was like like in between him doing Home and Away and him being Thor, somewhere in that space. So
Okay.
probably
Oh my God.
2005, maybe 2006, maybe. So technically, I have directed Chris Hemsworth. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But congratulations. And why isn't that on the CV, Dan? I would have noticed that.
I think this short film from memory had some blackface in it. So
Oh, Dan.
it's not, it was 2005 was a different time, Millie.
It was 2018. We didn't know it was wrong then.
And can I just say, the blackface in Longhead is very tasteful.
Don't,
was
don't
really
even
good.
joke. Don't
was
even
really good.
joke.
And I thought it had some takes on Israel that I wouldn't personally have gone with, but I thought that was pretty good by you. Very some bold stances.
I'm not smart enough to riff on this. I know my limits.
And Millie, your limits are extraordinary when it comes to Longhead because it is so funny and so charming and so dumb. How do you channel that dumbness into such great storytelling? Like, how do you find the ways to get this idiot Longhead into these positions?
Oh, thank you, Dan. I think my writing style for like everything I do is like find a movie trope that I really like and then find a way to subvert it. And so all of these Longheads, they're playing with a common trope, and then he will come in and he will be a bit silly, won't he? And that is genuinely the start and end of my very delicate and intricate process.
Millie also entered Longhead into the Austin Film Festival last month, and we flew over to Texas to show it to Americans, and we were a bit nervous as to how it would play in the room because the sketches are a bit gruesome.
They're a bit naughty.
They're a bit naughty, but the Americans in the theatre that it played absolutely laughed at all the right spots, and some of the spots we didn't think they would laugh at.
Yes.
But it was just so loud, the laughter. Because we hadn't launched on TikTok yet, I was like, I think we're going to be fine. It really set my mind at ease.
Yeah, that was the big takeaway for me. I was like being so nervous for the release and if it would get any numbers. And then after that screening, it's like, hey, if it doesn't get numbers, at least I'm pretty sure it's good. And so it's not embarrassing.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
can you enter it in more things? Are there other like festivals that will take 8 minutes of great animation?
I think so. I think
Will
there's a
Khan
few-
take it? The cowards?
Please. Opening night. I want to like a 1 hour standing ovation for an 8-minute piece. And that's how you know it went well.
The first 1-to-8 ratio
Yes,
of
exactly.
applause.
Yes. I think there's some web series festivals we can enter it in, but I haven't investigated so much. I was just so focused on this bloody TikTok release. So what do you reckon, Dan?
I think we should. I think maybe there's Berlin in our future. I think, Khan would take it.
Berlin.
This is the story of a man with a disability. He's got a long head. I think the elongated cranium community would really embrace Longhead and make him one of their own.
This is like when Netflix made that movie Tall Girl. Do you remember that?
I remember Tall Girl.
Yeah. You could be like Tall Girl, but for tall heads.
Yes. What's that octopus one? My Friend the Octopus, my octopus friend.
Yeah, yes.
I see it more like that, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just you underwater getting weirdly friendly with a long head.
In a way that's almost romantic, but not quite.
But in a sad way. Like find a person.
Yes.
I'm talking to you now, Millie, not to the octopus man.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Well, look, I think that'll be it for us on Irrational Fear tonight. Thank you so much for listening to us talk about Longhead. Because what's the use of having a podcast with 10,000 listeners if you can't force your own web series upon them? That's my opinion. What do you think, Lewis?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have one right now, but next time I'm cooking up a web series, this podcast's going to hear all about it.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. And again, I hope this was a nice relief from political stuff and not a disappointment that it was just this.
Millie, just so we can, meet our remit, what do you feel about the deportation bill that Labor signed on to today?
Oh, brother. I would say...
answer it in a funny voice.
I'm sorry.
We got it. Take that, fat cats in Canberra.
I would say, and then nothing. I haven't heard of this, but I would say whatever you guys think.
That's it. That's the echo chamber we have
There it
become
is.
to known
Yes.
for. We've become known for.
Well, I can say something political if you like.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Yeah, really.
When we were in Austin, people, since we got back, Dan, they've been asking, how was Austin? And my line has been, my bubble was popped there pre-election. I don't know how you found it, but I was, especially the Uber driver I had, and the guy in the hotel lobby, like almost everyone I came across, my bubble was popped, and that was crazy. Beautiful food, great tacos, but insane people.
Yeah, just don't talk
Great
about
review of
politics in America and you'll be fine.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was nuts. I had an Uber driver unprompted, and I didn't push back because I didn't want conflict, but unprompted, he had a trucker cap on with a cross on it with those iridescent like speed dealer glasses, and I hopped in. I was like, "This is gonna be good." And he straight up off the gate says that, I don't like wearing this hat in Austin because he's from Kentucky. I found out because people give me a hard time about it, and obviously that's not true. Like he's just like talking to me about it. I go, "Why is that?" And he's like, someone came up to me the other day and said Jesus was a dirty hippie, and then he quoted a Bible verse, no joke, like the like verse and the number and whatever, about how communism was not Christian, but like owning a gun was, and you had a right to self-defense but not to murder. And this was on the way to get Terry Black's barbecue.
Wow.
So, and I didn't push back. I didn't have it in me to push back that day. Also, he was interesting. But yeah, bubble popped, I'll tell you what.
Wow.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
not read the Bible passage about communism. That's amazing.
Yeah, it gets really specific, actually.
Very Nostradamus of the Bible.
You should, the Bible passage about Medicare for all is pretty amazing.
And now from the book of
I think
Mein
that's on the
Kampf.
book of McConnell. It's
So that's my one political contribution. Thank you, Rational Fear.
well done,
It's
Millie.
been a
You can come on again. You should come on our live show.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I flexed my chops. Oh, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll do my reading before the live show. What would you recommend for someone learning how to read?
The whole game could be Millie doesn't read the news, and we'll get her to do improv about the
Well,
news.
I'm not an idiot, but I do not read the news. I can't push back that much.
Sounds
I know the
great.
broad strokes. I know the broad strokes.
yeah.
I vote Greens. Why am I defending myself? Fuck you. You invited me on.
Oh no, this
is
has
how
turned into
every
another
interview
Will
ends.
Anderson podcast.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah. I don't know why Will was so hostile to me. I just yelled at him.
No, it was actually a very enjoyable listen. It was very, very, very funny. So if you do,
Yes, we love Will. That was just a little silly joke. Will was actually very kind, and it felt like we were friends out the gate, which is all you can ask for a podcast host. Thank you, Will.
yeah, terrific. Anything to plug, Lewis? You got anything to plug?
Do you know what? I will, while we're on here on this podcast, I will just take a moment to plug. I've plugged it before, but I do another podcast. It's called Hobber and Hing. Do it with my friend Michael Hing. And this week, we were announced by Apple Podcasts as one of their top 10 podcasts of 2024.
Congrats!
Oh,
Thank you
fantastic.
so
That is so
much.
That's
cool.
good. Is that better or worse than winning Best Comedy Podcast of the Year?
I would say like equally unprofitable.
I was lucky enough to get along to Apple headquarters last week, and they invited a few
name drop.
podcasters out there to see a brand new bit of kit, and their new kit was a new Apple Podcast window that. In the Apple
Like,
Podcast,
what does that
it's like
mean?
here's a new
in the
new
app.
window in Apple Podcasts you can upload things to. I'm like, this is worth coming out for. Thank you, Apple.
Yeah, why wasn't that a digital event? Did you have to be in person?
It was
man?
actually really nice to see a whole bunch of other podcasters. Our good friend Glenn James was there from Money, and a bunch of other podcasters we hang out with. So it was nice to be in a room with a bunch of other podcasters and eat food and drink their coffee.
Nice.
But
That's
yeah,
nice.
I guess it could have been an email, but they chose to invite people along.
That's nice. I'd do anything for a trip to Apple HQ just to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Is it like the shops are aesthetically?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like it's like walking into an Apple store. It's
Okay.
yeah.
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 Have you ever walked past an Apple store just before they open?
No.
I got to see it the other day. It was pretty weird.
What do they do? Is it culty?
Mhm.
Yeah, because obviously, everyone's like, oh, Apple's a cult, whatever. I'm like, fuck you. But then I saw it before it opened because I was at the shopping center really early with my child because she was just up. We had nothing to do, and so I saw there was like a guy standing in the corner up on a raised dais, and all of the people in blue shirts just standing there, like equally sort of spread out with their arms by their sides, just staring in silence at this person. And when you can't hear what they're saying, it's a very eerie thing to witness. Yeah. And I was like, oh, they've forgotten that this is a glass box, and we can all see them downloading the data from the headband into the little geniuses.
They also do this thing sometimes where they all get together and they huddle and then they clap and cheer, and it looks like they're at Hillsong or something. And it's
Is it because they just found out about the new window?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're like, guys, tell everyone about the new window in Apple Podcasts. Millie, would you like to plug anything else?
Aside from Longhead, nah. I reckon just go to TikTok, and the username is This Is Longhead, and you'll find Longhead. And if you get sick of Longhead, then you go to my Instagram at Millie Holton, and there are more Longhead comics there. So go, it's a little universe you can check out.
Those details will be in the show notes, also in the email out on irrationalfear.com. So if you want to see all those links, go to irrationalfear.com, chuck in your email, and this week's post will be all about Longhead, and we'll post all of the episodes from TikTok directly into the email so you can connect and watch those and share those with your friends there. So thank you so much. Millie, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. And congrats on Hobber on Top 10 podcast. And congrats, Dan, on booking Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And we've all got stuff going on.
We're all very busy and successful, aren't we? 1 week, 3 little hot shots.
Can I say I stumbled across Hobber and Hing's account on Instagram the other day, and I
stumbled across it. I post shit from there every week. I
was looking today at Hobber and Hing, and because a few of your videos have gone absolutely viral. You're into like 20,000, 30,000 views for some of them. It's amazing. You're doing so good.
20. That's our lowest. What are you talking about? That's our embarrassing numbers.
Is that right?
The one where we think about deleting them.
Man, we don't really. What number?
Dan just negged you so hard, Hobber.
You wanted to say is like 1.6 million. That's what you wanted to say, not 20,000.
But like the numbers were extraordinary. Jesus. Like 15,000, 10. Like I was like, holy
Stop
shit!
Stop saying the lowest numbers.
Sorry, 25 million, 37 million. I'm looking at them. They're going off. They're amazing. My phone is burning.
I'm on the Instagram as we speak. You truly picked the lowest number available. Yeah. And it's hard not to read into this co-hosting dynamic and see that it's very toxic based on the choices you've just made.
Hang on a second.
I can't wait to come and talk about how well your videos are doing that you guys have been working on together on TikTok, and use that opportunity to just...
Hang on, it's just...
But just say, congrats on that 10,000. 10,000, I'd kill myself, Dan. I'd give up.
10,000
doesn't get out of bed for less than
30,000 likes is huge. It's massive. I think it's so massive.
Your voice is too high to be honest, Dan. That's really good.
Oh God! Look, what I wanted to say was that the numbers are really big, and you should go.
You forgot what a big number was, and you just said small ones.
Hey, Lewis. Congrats on your little podcast, and I'm sure if you keep at it, maybe you'll crack the big numbers soon enough.
Look, Lewis and I have been doing Irrational Fear for 10 years, and already I think Hobber and Hing has already surpassed Irrational Fear.
We had a couple of years on radio as well. Not that it's the same.
That's it.
We had the word was out.
The word was out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm recording my end of Irrational Fear on Darrow Land. Thanks for listening to Irrational Fear. Until next week, there's always something to be scared of. Goodbye.